Hi there, I'm Tommy Larkin, and welcome to the Tweak of the Week. This week, we look at a way to help stretch and release tightness in the neck and upper back. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me today. Now, recently, my neck started to go out of whack again. Now, this is not an uncommon thing for me, and for a number of years, I spent many sessions on my chiropractor's table, followed up by some soft tissue work with one of her amazing therapists. When she first diagnosed the issues I was having with my spinal alignment, she said I had what was called straight neck syndrome. Now, if you know me at all, then certainly you know I said something funny, and of course I did. I said, "Ooh, good, I've always wanted a syndrome." The thing about this syndrome is it is really a result from being a modern human being and standing upright. But it also occurred for me by building strong muscles pretty quickly in my shoulders and upper back. Coupled with not being more diligent and stretching these muscles regularly, they started to pull on a couple of my cervical vertebrae and created an impingement on the spinal cord. Now, this can sound like a bad thing, but when you're having numbness and sometimes dull or sharp pain in a specific area of the shoulder or arm, it can be quite annoying. The good news is that with proper care, treatment, and consideration for how you balance the strength versus lengthen aspect of exercises impacting the affected area, you can essentially heal or mitigate the misalignments occurring currently or in the future. Now, what I've learned from my chiropractic team was always to help balance out tensions which would put my neck out of alignment. These were some simple stretches, but also included trigger point therapies. Now, that's a fancy word for learning specific points in a muscle which help release tension in the tissues so you can potentially gain better relaxation and extension in the given muscle itself. So today we're going to look at two stretches which help release tension in the neck and upper back region. The first of the two stretches helps release the posterior cervical muscles. These run right along the cervical spine, which you'll know as your neck, originating at the occipital ridges and inserting along the T1 through T6 vertebrae of the thoracic spine. That's the spine in the torso, or the upper portion of the torso. Now, although this region of the neck is the primary one addressed in this movement, I have found with a broadening of the upper back and a slightly deeper curl of the upper back, you can get some nice stretch on the rhomboids, some on the trapezius, and the upper portion of the erector spinae muscles. So the movement is pretty easy. So you can do this sitting or you can do it standing, so whichever you choose is fine. Now you're going to tilt your chin forward using your hands with the thumbs at the occipital ridge, stretch the head with a lengthening action away from the top of the shoulders. I generally like to hold this position for 3 to 5 breaths, easy breaths, and when finished, you just inhale while lifting the chin and release the hands. Now you can add some trigger points or some may call them pressure points to potentially deepen or create more release from this stretch. So bring your hands to the back of your neck and using the fingers, measure down about 2 finger widths from the occipital ridge. Now press the index or middle finger of each hand into these points on either side of the neck, and as you inhale, lift the chin, and then as you exhale, tuck the chin back towards the chest. I then find for me, doing a small pulsation gives me the best feeling of release. This pulsing is only a slight lift of the chin before tucking it back to the chest again. Part 2 of today's equation helps balance the work you just performed by including more for the trapezius, but also focusing on the levator scapulae, the supraspinatus, plus some benefits for the splenius capitis and the scalenes. So this one you should do standing up. So take the right hand behind the back and grab the wrist with your left hand. Gently, but with intention, pull the right arm across the body towards the left hip. Now tilt the head as if you were going to touch your left ear to your shoulder. Hold this position for about 3 to 5 breaths. And then to come out, you just simply inhale to release the stretch and then you would repeat the other side. As your flexibility increases, you can hold the respective arm closer to the elbow, or even to the point of holding the upper arm at the elbow. As one last note, through the years I have found that sometimes going too deep into these types of stretches can actually work a little against you. In the moment, they feel amazing and releasing, but after your body relaxes from the work, the targeted muscles can actually tense up more, thereby effectively negating the benefits initially received. Through implementation of the stretches and some trial and error on how deep you go in the stretch, you'll find out for yourself if this adverse reaction applies to you. It's not a bad thing, it's just one of those which means a little longer journey on releasing overly tight muscles and actually being a little more gentle with yourself. So there you go. I hope you'll gain great benefits from today's work. If you have any questions or thoughts about this tweak or any previous one, let me know. Put your question or thought in the comments of the specific tweak and I'll get back to you. Also, if you like today's tweak, I'd appreciate you hitting that like button below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Plus, check out our website and follow us on social media for other inspiration and great ways to enhance your vital energy. You'll find those links in the description below. As always, thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time, have an amazing week and be excellent to each other.